on, let's go, baby. I'll tell you, baby. I've been wondering what you gonna do. Who gonna give your love to? That home gonna make you mine. That don't got on time.
And the favourite, Maxian, he's been $2.20 into $2.
Yeah, well, we touched on his previous form in the mounting yard, and it's very good for a Class 1. Last start, he was actually in a Class 2 at Doomben, when fourth, beaten about 3.5 lengths behind Mock Taffy. Actually at 60 kilos that day in a Class 2. He's back to a Class 1 with 58. Barrier 4. You know,
He looks fantastic.
I can't fault absolutely anything.
No.
I know you mentioned the good surface. He's had five goes on good, yet to run a place, but not really looking into that too much.
I think the strange thing with him is he hasn't ever run a place. He's won one race on a heavy 9, and and it's unusual, you know, to not see a placing in there somewhere.
But they obviously held him in fairly high regard, because he's been running at Flemington, and
there's a fourth.
Yeah, he ran fourth on a good 3, and that was probably a near career best behind First Immortal. So that was a G3 during the winter. So, I just can't pick holes in this horse at all in a Class 1 here at the midweeks in Brisbane. I've got the 8 in Victoria Roc. Always had a bit of time for her. Obviously, there's been issues along the way, and I like the fact that we got that rain yesterday. It's certainly not rock hard today, and I think that suits her. Royal Rift is an interesting runner. Another newcomer, a stayer, coming to Tony Gollan. Another from Mar Eustace. He's got the right form to run well here. And then Free Carry, which possibly tries to lead here. I didn't see a lot in the way of leaders. I thought maybe Son of Satono and also Free Carry. And I was taken with his maiden win in Toowoomba at only start 3.
I'm very similar. I'm going to jump on 80 grand as well. He just looked magnificent in the yard. And you've touched on his form, even though I thought he was probably not suited last start, as was, I think, Strongbow was in that race as well. It was a real sit and sprint, wasn't it?
It was, and Mock Taffy, we know on his days
he can turn up.
He's up to sort of Saturday standard in the right race, and Sacred Mission came out of that to win. And Horseside Martini's always around the money. And I don't think this race boasts the strength of that. So I'm just saying all he does is have to reproduce that to win here today.
Yes, I agree. I'm going to leave Royal Rift in for second. He's got a bit of work to do from his wide draw, but he too looked well.
Yep.
Strongbow, as I said, he comes out of that race where it was a real sit and sprint. It wasn't suited for him. And Victoria Roc.
You've been running around like a headless chook, getting ready for the playbook tomorrow, and there's been a problem.
Oh, yes. I've lost a shoe. Well, not lost a shoe,
You've done a
Maxie, but
heel.
I've had a blowout.
Well, you came dashing past us about 10 to the furlong. I reckon that's when you've blown it.
And the heel, the stiletto is broken. So what do I do? I either walk around with one shoe.
Ado, our cameraman's had a look at it. He reckons Glenn the farrier can fix it. He can pop a nail into it.
I'm going to go and visit the farrier after the next race and just see if he can help me out. Otherwise, I was proposing some gaff tape.
Yeah? No, I reckon Glenn will fix it. He'll put some Equilocks or whatever they call it, or put bar plates on there.
Now, our guest tomorrow, Maxie, is Trent Edmonds, because Trent is leaving Queensland.
Yes, I thought I know he comes from New South Wales, but
yes, he is
Victoria.
A Blues supporter. Yes, to Victoria. So he's heading off to Pakenham to take up training in his own right. Of course, he's always trained with his dad, Toby. So I thought, let's get him on the show before he goes and just cover all the marvellous things he's done to date.
Yeah, with his dad, there have been some great achievements. And I know early when the partnership started, they won the Stradbroke here, the Tie Zone.
Oh, there's my shoe fixer. He's now fixing a horseshoe, Maxie.
This is Royal Rift.
Royal Rift.
Shifted a plate.
It's very hot here today, so don't be surprised to see these horses sweating the way they are.
Well, I noticed, we noticed 80 grand. Look, I hadn't turned a hair in the yard, but going around to the start, he'd started to break out into a lather, and you can see Damien Thornton there on Strongbow just getting rid of some excess lather off the neck. So, but folks, it is really hot and steamy here today. So looking forward to Trent tomorrow. We've also got a young gun punter that comes up against me.
Yes, a professional punter who's playing smarter than Maxie.
Tom
Henjack. We've also got some Irish chit-chat for the viewers. A couple of Irish jockeys. We have
Marty
Robbie
and Robbie,
Martin Harley.
They do a skit together.
Yes, they're very good.
And then we've got a topic. We had the Shadow Roll last week. We won't spoil it. This is very funny, folks.
It's actually quite a controversial piece of equipment.
Yep.
Or gear/gear, horse gear, that is in the rule book, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I just thought we should ask everybody about this controversial. I think it's more controversial than the nose roll.
Yeah, well, we didn't quite get to the bottom of what, in fact, the nose roll is supposed to do. Everybody had a different answer.
I did have a very nice piece from Richard Friedman the next morning, and his theory was that, yes, over a long period of time and use of the nose roll, it will teach a horse to lower the head. But he said you can't just put it on. And he said the positioning of it is often wrong in Australia. They often have it sort of midway down the horse's face. And he said it actually has to be quite high under the eye, which I found interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an interesting topic. But
anyway, this week's topic is just as interesting.
But funnier. Like, you'll have a giggle, folks, honestly.
All right, that is Playbook tomorrow
Royal
night.
Rift has got that plate 3 attached.
Yep.
He's right. He's just trotting around behind the start.
There is Victoria Roc. She's a giant, Maxie.
She is. Yeah,
gigantic.
She's Turned Me Loose is the sire of this mare.
She's a beauty.
From a Fastnet Rock mare called Cap Eden Rock. And she won her first start, which was 6 starts ago. That was at Matamata in a maiden, and she won it by about 5 lengths on soft ground. She absolutely blitzed them. Looked like stakes material for sure. And then she came to Melbourne, and then she couldn't get going there, so she's found herself up here, and she's sort of in the right form to just about win a race, isn't she? If she gets the right circumstances.
And look at the money for her, Maxie, 420 into 330. So she is a really rock solid second pick. 80 grand's at $2.20. I guess the query with Victoria Roc is probably perhaps not as seasoned over this kind of trip as the others, but that doesn't mean she can't win.
No, she's got the good barrier, and as BJ said, he's just going to let Manu ride her where she's comfortable, and it could be in front with 53.5 on her back.
Very interesting. Here's David for the call.
Plate. Son of Satono goes up. We've got 3 to move in, 3 or 4 to move in. Strongbow, Mottram, Free Carry, and Royal Rift. First leg of the main quaddie. Previous race going to Delorme. Wasn't unnoticed in betting either. 20 into 17. Got the split at the right time. Got a break on them and held off Taranaki to win by a short head for John Simons and Sheila Laxon, and Robbie Dolan had the ride. Free carry goes up for Anthony Allen. Here's Royal Rift coming in, and Mottram, the rank outsider, will be the last to load. And again, we're going over the distance of 1,846 metres. So last look at the tab board, 215, number 1, 80 grand. Number 8, Victoria Roc at 330. Number 3, Royal Rift at $9. The 1 and the 8 dominate the market. All set. Royal Rift a bit edgy, so was Free Carry. Steady, racing. Victoria Roc makes a good start towards the inside. Going forward was Free Carry, as is Son of Satono soon after the start. End of month, a lot closer today. Fourth on settling down as there's a three-way war up front. Then came Impending Rose. Now, a few lengths away, 80 grand. The favourite settling in midfield with clear air. Three behind it was Royal Rift outside of Strongbow. About 2.5 to Mottram last of all. That trio did go keenly early, so much so they strung the field out as they go down the back straight to approach the 1,300, and Free Carry takes it up with Victoria Roc taking the sit. Son of Satono moves up outside the pair, and they're about 4 in front of end of month in fourth. 2.5 away came Impending Rose, a length to 80 grand, suited by that good early tempo. Then a margin of 4 to Royal Rift, a length away Strongbow, and 2 to the grey Mottram last of all. At the far turn, 1,000 metres left to run, and Free Carry allowed to wheel and deal in front, led by 2 lengths. Son of Satono is in second, racing third end of month. Now, Victoria Roc was behind the leader, but has managed to go back to fourth and get one off the fence. Over on the inside, Impending Rose in 5, and 80 grand's had a good run in transit, travelling sixth, about 5 off the lead, and about to make a move. No excuse for the favourite, you would say. Then Royal Rift, Strongbow and Mottram the last trio. At the 600 metres, Free Carry in front. Son of Satono is second, trying to give chase but under pressure. End of month also is hard at it in third. Victoria Roc pulling wide at the bend. Now 80 grand is being niggled at to come to the outside. About 4 or 5 lengths to make up as they're well on the straight, and Free Carry was a clear leader. Free Carry by 2 to Victoria Roc in second, setting sail out after the leader. 80 grand is starting to put in now, and Royal Rift right down the outside. 80 grand's got a battle on its hands at the moment. The leader was Free Carry. Victoria Roc sailed up on the outside. 80 grand comes as Victoria Roc. 50 to go. Who'll be the strongest? It will be 80 grand just from Victoria Roc. Royal Rift and Free Carry gave a great sight, just knocked up late. Then Strongbow, followed by Mottram, end of month. A long gap, Son of Satono, and Impending Rose was last over the line.
While the whole length of the Eagle Farm strayed, but all's well that ends well, and the well-back favourite has got up by a neck from Victoria Roc, who was good over the 1,800. And then Royal Rift coming from well back, and Free Carry, who led them up at a strong gallop. They obviously wanted to lead with Free Carry because I think Victoria Roc was happy to hold the lead, but Manu Pokita handed up to Free Carry. And that certainly helped the top weight, 80 grand. He settled fifth, about 5 lengths off the lead, a horse off the rails. And it took him ages to run down Victoria Roc, but he does. And he has got his first win for quite a while. His last victory, it was only a maiden handicap in September of 22. So as we look at them turning into the straight, Free Carry had led, and as David mentioned in the call, held on quite well. He's only just out of maiden grade, but the winner certainly had the right form, and he's by Sebring from an Encosta de Largo mare, and at only his third start since coming to Tony Gollan Stables from Victoria, he has got the money. To race 4, so the first leg of the quaddie going to the favourite. We'll be back with our 5th race a little later.
Another odds-on favourite here for the last race at Eagle Farm this afternoon, and that is Bullion Boy. He's $1.75. So this is a benchmark 68 handicap. It's over the mile, and the first horse to look at, Maxi, is Mocambo from the Mick Lakey stable with Manu Podgita.
Yeah, I thought there might be a little bit of money for him in the market now that he's had 2 runs back from a long spell, but he's sort of going the other way. But he should get plenty of favours here with the claim and the good draw. He'll settle back in the field.
All right, Launchpad is in a point to $16. Darren Bell, Robbie Dolan, and was a winner here 3 starts ago.
Yeah, so I'm respecting him, and that day that he led, controlled the tempo from the front. So from that good draw, they might have him handier today up to a distance that he's won at before.
All right, here's the hot favourite, number 4, Bullion Boy, with Lindsay Goff and Michael Murphy.
Yeah, heavy betting on him. He's the big go here, and it's probably because he gets every possible, doesn't he? He's got the inside barrier. He can position handy in the race, and he's back here on a Wednesday at the midweeks. He's been competitive, on Saturdays on the odd occasion. So he's just got to see out the distance, Bernie, going to this trip for the first time, but the confidence level is very high.
Semaphore Girl is number 8, Stephen Kirkwood and Jake Malloy.
Yeah, she usually races better, as we mentioned, on the Darling Downs, but she's back here again. Look, she's got the claim. She's been going okay, but do prefer her at home.
Number 11 is Pico Rocks, pretty solid around the $6 mark. Lee Friedman, Damien Thornton.
Yeah, if you didn't want to take the short price about Bullion Boy, thought this might be a good bet on an each-way play. He's been hitting the line hard, hoping that he jumps well today and can position a couple of lengths closer, because he's had a fair bit to do, mainly because he can hesitate a little bit at the start. But if everything goes right for him today, he can run in the top 3 for sure.
Number 12 is Shopping Wise. 12's out to 16s. Jay Bellamy, Boris Thornton.
A couple of placings recently at the sunny coast over the 18 and the 1400, so slightly back in distance. Maybe a chance for a place.
Greg Ryan trains Damiani with Martin Harley.
Yes, back onto the turf. It's been going great guns there on the Gold Coast Poly. 4 consecutive seconds there following a win. So back on the turf today from an awkward gate.
Redente Choice is number 16, Pat Duff and Jake Bayless.
He can bob up. He did finish second behind Launchpad when Launchpad won that race here when leading all of the way. So certainly respecting the 16.
And Speed Maps trained by Paula Barron with Anthony Allen.
He had a big pull in the weights last start and was able to win at the Sunshine Coast, and that followed a couple of nice performances. So he's in career best form right now.
I had the hiccups all the way through that. What do you do when you're on air and you got the hiccups?
three-way finish. Looking the winner, it was only just the last stride, but he was outbobbed there by Brave Meso. That was in a benchmark 70, so slightly back in grade, but up to 1,600. You got a big weight to carry here, but the luxury of Barrier 1, most of them still wanted to get off the fence a little bit. As Michael Rod said to you, it's probably better sweeping home up the middle of the track, but he's not worried about the inside at all.
No,
really.
He's not worried about the inside. And, you know, when you want to nurse your horse along as far as you can to help it carry, you know, those big weights, and you're blessed with Barrier 1, you know, unless there's a distinct disadvantage, which we just haven't seen.
Yeah,
I believe we have
just one day, the first day back.
Oh,
I think
that
everybody
day.
agreed,
I mean, today.
Yeah, other than that, the track has been absolutely spot on here at Eagle Farm. So there's going to be room for him, and you'll just be sort of holding your breath that he can hold on and score. But as I said, I'd prefer to play the other fellow each way at the $6. Pico Rocks, 11 to beat 4. Number 2 Launchpad, 11 for 2 and 12. Shopping Wise. I thought I'd check those scratchings. Maybe Why We Drink, which I had in as the third choice, Bernie, was taken out really late, close to scratching deadline. But, so I put Shopping Wise in there, number 12 for fourth.
I'm 11 for 12 and 2, so I see it very similarly. And I think with Pico Rocks, I'm just anticipating that he's going to love getting to a big track. Love getting to the mile. He comes out of 2 completely leader-dominated races, where he has been, on one occasion, slow into stride, and the other time he drew bad and I think was just back in the ruck in that 1,400. I think it was first up behind Deep Tempest, who went straight to the front. So, yeah, I think he gets a different race actually here today, and gosh, he looks terrific. So I think he's a nice chance to run down the favourite, Bullion Boy. Definitely Shopping Wise and Launchpad. Actually, I thought Launchpad looked great. And the mile is sort of a pet trip for him as well. Perhaps should have 11 for 2 and 12. But anyway, what's splitting hairs, Maxie?
Yeah, looking forward to Doomben on Saturday. The buffering, the Magic Millions, the buffering, and Zoo Styler's favourite.
Well, how interesting, because we've not seen him past 1,200 metres.
No, but
he's 1350.
Yes, Tony's always felt that he'll run the distance, and he loves Doomben. He's only been beaten there once. I think that was in a Doomben 10,000, where he was clear 200 out, but they just overhauled him under that weight for a scale.
What do you think?
I think he'll run it. I really do. You know, there isn't.
He might enjoy himself a bit more, although the face is also in that race, Maxie. So you've got 2 leaders plus another?
Well, pretty much those 2.
Okay.
Something will have to give there. The face is stepping it up, but he's never been in better form. He's won his last 3, running smart time from the front. So when the first tab markets went up, Zoo Style went up $4.20 into $3.80. Tamerlane for Godolphin out of full point, 380 out to 480. So it's been easy in the early markets. Of the rest of them, Freedom Rallies, they've taken him $7, 70 to 460 about Freedom Rally, who's on a backup after winning here last Saturday. So a very interesting race there. And, of course, we've got the Nudgy as well with Comrade Rosa. Parasol for Godolphin is the favourite, just over Comrade Rosa. 360 for the Godolphin runner. And Comrade Rosa is at $3.80 in the Nudgy there.
A Mrs. Eagle Farm, Comrade Rosa, but she did win the stakes race over there as well. She was brilliant first up before she won the stakes race.
Yes, yeah.
What was that? The Cats? Can't remember the name of that race, but that was, I wasn't there, but she won it like a star, didn't she?
When she ran 4th to Extremist, that was in the Keith Nowd, was
possibly,
it?
Yeah.
And then she came out and let rip. Yeah. So I was interested. I thought she might go favourite, but
I love that she loves both tracks, because a lot of horses don't. They either like one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah, she's certainly... she spreads the love.
She does.
What's going on here with Bullion Boy? He's in $1.65 now, so the boys are content. They've had another go. $1.65, so surely everything's got to ease in the market with the relentless support for Bullion Boy.
Pico Roc's pretty solid, Maxi. He's 7 into 650 there
and
as well.
Launchpad at a price 18 down to 9. Now, the Darren Bell stable, I always respect, and they put their money on Launchpad today.
There he is in shot now. He looks terrific, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Fantastic. All right, for the last time today, here's David Fowler. What have you got for us, Bubba? I want to see a photo of this place you bought. It's just so fabulous for you both. What's Alex doing?
Still writing work for Caesars at the moment.
Yep.
She does want to race rides. But she had to get
Did you get married?
Not yet. We put it off because of this.
Oh, because of this. Say again, Tom. Sure. Wow.
Yes.
Wowie.
So it's all white.
I love it.
Speed maps going forward, so too Launchpad. They've got Damiani 4 and 5 wide as they surge along the back straight. Just behind that division was Shopping Wise, and then came Redonte Choice outside of Semaphore Girl. Pico Roc's back second last, and Mocambo will settle last on the rail. Along the back straight by the 1,200 metres, Damiani came across from the wide gate and now takes control of the tempo. Shopping Wise moves forward to be second, and Murphy's got Bullion Boy travelling third, the box seat. Fourth, the outside Launchpad, a length and a half away to Speed Map, who eased back to fifth outside of Semaphore Girl, sixth on the rail at the 900 metres, and the last trio, Redonte Choice, Mocambo and Pico Roc's. 10 lengths top end to tail. They're down to the 800 metres, and the leader Damiani, very consistent on the Gold Coast poly track at the grass today and does it well mid-race. From Shopping Wise second and Bullion Boy given every conceivable chance in third. The well-back Launchpad sits in fourth as they travel by the 600 metres. Speed Member, those pink colours in 5. Semaphore Girl being revved up to try and improve. Then Redonte Choice, Mocambo and Pico Roc's turns in last position. Fully homeward bound now by the 400 metres, and the leader was Damiani. Bullion Boy diving to the inside. There's ample room there if good enough. Launchpad immediately came off the bit. Speed Map starts to run on. Shopping Wise can't do any more. Bullion Boy reached a clear lead now from Damiani as they draw down to the 100 metres. Can the heavily backed commodity get over the last? He's in front, Bullion Boy. They're chasing in vain. And Bullion Boy, the good thing is home. Semaphore Girl arrived for second. Photo third, Damiani or Mocambo. Then Speed Map, followed by Launchpad, Pico Roc's, Redonte Choice, and a long margin of Shopping Wise last over the line. Well, he had the best form, he had the right barrier, had the right run, and was able to capitalise on that and sprint away to beat Sim.
Was able to just sit and just go for him at the 250, and he shot clear and never looked like anything was going to bridge the gap at all. So he sits up close to the line. Semaphore Girl from Toowoomba has run a good race today. Damiani was the lamplighter there, holds down third, and then Mocambo, who's come from last right up against the rails. And Pico Roc's hesitated as he does. He was last, came to the outside at the top of the straight. Maybe he wants something further. That's him with the red cap on the extreme outside. But they turn into the straight at this point. Michael Murphy had an option to wait, try and come around the heels of the leader, but he could see this big gap. He could have driven a couple of trucks through. He just wanted to shift out a little bit under pressure, Bullion Boy, but he's going strongly here and carrying the 60 kilos all the way. And the punters cheered. Bernie, he was declared for that horse. Odds against a little earlier today into $1.60 on the average price.
Yeah, Maxie, you're dead right. It was a fantastic move, a confident move, and the horse has duly delivered. We're going to have a chat now with his trainer, Lindsay Goff, who's puffing the chest out. Come on, Linz.
Hey, mate, how are you?
Well done.
Yeah, he was good, man. I suppose he always looked to get a nice soft run, which he did, and I suppose he dashed through, done the job, you know.
Yeah, 60 kilos.
Yeah, it's never easy with the weight, is it? But I guess it was a 56.5 minimum, so that sort of negated that a little bit. But yeah, no, it's never even 60 kilos, and he might even get a bit further.
He might on that. I love the way he relaxed today.
Yeah, he relaxed good and finished off, so he gives you that feel he might run 2,000 later.
He's been a really consistent galloper, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's won 4 from 12, so he keeps improving. Yeah.
What sort of depth do you think he could get to?
We might wait till Millions is gone and see if we can find a little Saturday race after that somewhere.
I'm sure he'd be extremely competitive, and always nice to have Michael Murphy on board as well.
Yeah, he does a lot of work for the stable, Bernie. So.
Do we go to the creek now? What happens now?
Might tonight, Bern, yeah. Mate, if you...
His brother, Darren, they just do a superb job. Michael's just going to have a quick photo here and then we'll have a chat with him. Let's have a look at the time. 1:36.75, home in 35.74. And the margin in the end was 1.5 lengths by a neck. So I'll just step in. I know the owners are trying to video you, but I need to pull you away. Well done on the win.
Thank you, Spenny.
Take us through the race. He relaxed well.
Yeah, look, I always thought he was going to be a horse that could get the mile, and he has done today. He bounced out very nicely and settled there well. And obviously he wasn't straight off the mark, but he just warmed up into it, and it was a nice run by him.
Might have been the fact that he had that big weight of 60 kilos, so he had to sort of build that momentum.
Yeah, I think he's a horse that can really carry any sort of weight, but today, he was really great.
Lindsay's thoughts were perhaps he might get a little bit further.
I think he will, the way he settled today. Obviously, I'm not the trainer, I'm just the jockey, but he does feel like he will get over the distance.
Especially if he's relaxing like he is now. You go talk to your owners. Well done.
No worries, thank you.
All right, there is Michael Murphy. A superb ride on the hot favourite here to round us out today at Eagle Farm. 4 beats 8, 14 and 1. We'll say goodnight. Maxie and I look forward to joining you tomorrow night for the playbook. But for now, back to you, John.